So beyond background and wealth, so Nash proposed that success or failure in exams is not solely determined by a person's background or parental wealth. So parental wealth or background is not just the solely criteria which demands the person's success in the examination. More subtle classroom process are at play, uh, particularly relating to how teachers and students manage their impressions on each other. So most important thing in the class process is the play between teachers and the students, how they create an impression upon each other. An impression is what it actually gives it the labels. Actually, impression, like some students will try to give impression of very good behavior, and teacher will try to give an impression of different kind. So that this impression gives the labels to each and every student, which ultimately impacts their learning. Manage the impression. If the student can effectively utilize enough cultural capital to conform to the teacher's perception of good people, they might be able to overcome specific disadvantage in their home background. So if even if the student has some specific disadvantage at their home, let us suppose they do not have that particular wealth or cultural capital at their home, but they are able to give a good perception to the teachers that yes, I am a very good student, then he will be labeled very good, and they are managed to get that label of good pupil within the school. Okay, this provides an explanation for why some students from disadvantaged social background do succeed in education system. It gives an explanation. It explains to the student. It gives an explanation why some students from disadvantaged background do succeed in education system. मतलब some students even from disadvantaged background do succeed in education just because they have got the good student label. Are you getting my point? They are able to succeed that good boy label, even though they do not have that cultural capital at their home. That is the reason that some students from lower background also succeed in the education because of that particular label. This was the theory given by Nash. Sources of labeling within the schools. The school processes like streaming, setting, banding are sufficient contributors to both positive and negative labeling. So streaming, setting and banding also, that's we have already discussed. These processes in schools are also very important contributors, very significant contributors to whether label a student as positive or negative. When we select some students based on the bands, like these are A grade students, these are B grades, these are C grade students, this also impacts their performance, academic performance. A grade students will try to be in that A level band, and C grade students will say what should be done with studies. We are already branding very poor, so what to do? Nothing. So this labeling is a crucial part of students' self-perception. So remember this keyword, self-perception is very important in the labeling theory, which is formed based on reference groups. Based on reference groups, it is formed. Reference groups are people, individuals compare themselves in any role they are playing. So reference groups are what? People or individual compare each other. Reference, see, you have to be like that, you have to be like that. So this is referring to someone. If somebody wants to achieve first score in IIT JEE, so he will compare himself, he will have a reference point himself, at least 300 rank I should achieve in that examination. So these are reference groups, reference settings, which individual compare themselves while they are playing their particular role. The role of teachers and peers in labeling. What is the role of teachers and peers in labeling? The teachers are a crucial part of students' reference group. Okay, teachers are very important part of the students' reference group. When the students try to strive like being a teacher, if teacher has this particular knowledge in any particular subject, students strive to achieve that particular knowledge within that particular subject. Okay, these opinions hold significant weight because they possess the power to create and impose labels directly related to individual self-perception. This opinion hold a very significant, very important weight. Like teacher's opinion about a student is a very significant factor. Okay, because students strive to be in that particular opinion. It create and impose labels. This opinion create and impose labels upon students. It is imposing labels like you are a good student, you are a bad student. Okay, directly related to individual self-perception, how individuals self-perceive it. However, the teachers are not the only ones in this role. Many fellow students are also there. Reference groups are also there, like people outside also there, social groups are also there. So who give these labels to the students? Your family members also give these labels, your friends also give these labels to you. Peers can significantly influence how the role of education is defined. Peers means your group of people. They significantly influence you how your role in education is defined. Role of education is defined for my pro student and anti student subcultures. So there are two kind of subcultures. One is who supports schools, who are actively engaged in schools. One is anti school students. He leaves school. What is the benefit of coming to school? So whenever student join these particular groups based on his particular interest, it also influence the outcomes of the education in that particular student. Okay. Self-fulfilling prophecy. Whenever there is labeling theory, then there is self-fulfilling prophecy. This is very important. Self-fulfilling means prophecy. Whenever the education education impact of teachers labeling is partially expressed through the concept self-fulfilling prophecy. The self-fulfilling prophecy is a prediction about something, ability that merely is being made cause that perception to come true. Like whenever we have labeled some student, like you are a very good achiever, the student will work very hard. The student will do studies day and night. He will do everything that is possible. He succeeds in the examination. That is what self-fulfilling prophecy is. Students, whenever they are labeled about by their teachers or their peers or their family members, they try to achieve that thing in within the motivating from within inside. So self-fulfilling. This is self-fulfilling. They self-fulfills that prophecy, what is being set by their teachers. Is it clear? Nash observed that how teachers' beliefs about good or bad students were conveyed to students through teachers' attitude and behavior. Whatever teachers believe any particular student is either good or bad, it is expressed through the behavior of the teacher towards the student. Okay. He concluded that teachers' expectations are a determining factor in students' education success or failure. So teachers' expectations are very significant factors whether to decide education success or failure of any student. Okay. What teachers considers a person is a very important factor in success or failure of the student. Teachers made both conscious or hidden subconscious predictions about their students' abilities. Conscious prediction means you are a good student, you are a bad student. These are conscious predictions. Subconscious predictions, beta, don't do this. It's not your cup of tea. You cannot do that. So it means we are not able to do that. So these are subconscious considerations. So these both considerations, direct or indirect, conscious directly, subconscious hidden something inside the brain about some student. These predictions guide the behavior of the students. When teachers associate working class students with low level attainment, they reinforce this subculture stereotype through lowered expectations. Now, whenever teacher label any working class means lower class student, that they think when teacher perceive that they are not able to achieve higher marks in examination because they are working class students. This expectation about that particular working class student reinforces the student reinforce their expectation. Reinforce means taking feedback and then again applying to that feedback the main efforts. So student will not even work because they will have a notion in their mind if we are not able to achieve higher thing in life because we are from the lower background. So this is how they reinforce it. Reinforce means enforce whatever is being taught by their teachers. Okay. Reinforce the cultural stereotype. Whatever cultural stereotype is within the minds of the teacher about that particular working class students. Application of self-fulfilling prophecy beyond individuals. So when we say the idea of self-fulfilling prophecy can also apply to entire class of students. This idea of self-fulfilling prophecy applies to entire class of the students. Each and every student perceive within themselves what is being perceived by their teachers about them. the classes may find themselves negatively labeled. I may consider this is bad class, this is a good class. The classes may also perceive themselves as negatively labeled through practices such as streaming, setting, bending, like bending a particular class, or streaming, you are art students, you are science students, like that. Through a broader process like class, gender, or ethnic stereotypes, old stereotypes. Now, durability of labels. How durable these labels are. This we will study tomorrow about KIDI. Now we have completed till page 145, and in the next class we will begin this durability of labels.